J Jinx!
Truck stop!
I've had a long week. In the sense that, like, it was a rough week. But also because of this. Now, when I started this challenge, I truly thought I would just breeze right through. Like, I am JJ Jinx. Gas station knives are my bread and butter. This'll be easy. I'll just kick out some entertaining videos. There's the unboxing aspect. It's a long-term project. What I didn't anticipate was that it actually is challenging, which is good. I prefer it that way. I would rather feel challenged than, honestly, what I expected, which was like, oh, it'll be easy, no problem, blah. This is hard. So, I spent a week carrying these knives, and I want to start out by saying I was very tempted to just, especially with this one, completely take it apart, clean it, put it back together again. I was really tempted to sharpen the blade on this one. And then I was thinking two things. Number one, it wouldn't really be worth my time, honestly. But also number two, maybe I should actually make it part of the challenge that I have to use these in the state in which they were confiscated. Because that is the state in which people were using them. Like, this was okay for somebody. It was acceptable. So I'm going to add those rules to the challenge. Now, for my review, I don't think this will take very long. I want to start with this multi-tool. Now, I was correct that having the tools on the inside was a pain in the ass. I had to open this thing, get the tool out, close it up, and then use it. I don't have a whole lot of experience using big multi-tools, and I didn't like it. So, for example, with this blade, it's just like massive handle, little blade all the way up here. Well, more of a medium-sized blade. It wasn't comfy for me. And I didn't use too many of the other tools. I think I might have pried something with one of these tools, or maybe it was on this one. I can't quite remember, but I did use the pliers portion and on both of them. And I used it for both prying on things and also for trying to cut some wire and some tubing. So one of the things I noticed was there's a little bit of battle damage on both of these. I'll show you the other one, right where the wire cutting wedges are. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that's actually kind of damaged there. So I basically had to position my wiring like up more towards the top of those wedges, but it got the job done. The rattly loose pivot got annoying. In the end, it didn't affect very much. One of the things I did not like about this multi-tool, one of the additional things I did not like about it was it's just too damn big for my hands. The directionality of the handles this is just too wide. So if I try to ply something, the bite angle I can get maximum is something like this before I can't really, it slips out of my fingers. So if you need to go any wider than that, I gotta do it two-handed and then grasp, and that was my experience. So HDX big ass multi-tool, I didn't like you very much, and man, this massive thing in my pocket, I really felt it. Everything from like getting in and out of the car to walking down the hallway, and this thing was just swinging in the pocket. This thing had a presence to it. So I hope I never have to do that again. Now let's talk about the Spencer knife. I did use the main blade quite a bit, and I gotta say, it was impressively sharp. The fit and finish on this thing wasn't that bad. It did have quite a bit of blade play and still does, but it didn't interfere too much just because, the directionality of cutting doesn't really go there. I did use the Phillips head screwdriver a few times, and man, what a pain in the ass. I've never actually used the screwdriver tool on these things, like, I guess the half tools side. It's very unwieldy. It takes forever. It's because you just gotta and I hated it. I guess I'm not into these kinds of knives, really. I kept the bottle opener open to remind me to talk about it. So this is one of those configurations where it's got the cap lifter bottle opener on one side and the can opener, that's what I meant to say, the can opener on the other side, but the can opener doesn't work very well because, as you can see, it's ground flat. So you can hook onto the edge of a can, but you can't cut into the can and actually use it properly. For example, on this multi-tool, you got the properly sharpened can opener, although I don't think I would ever use this one to open anything that I would later consume. So this is just for show, I guess. Kind of useless. I kind of wonder if, like, there was just a machining step that was skipped for this one bit, before they piled it in. Or what? What's the story there? Did they just, like, stamp it out and say, fuck it, it ships? We can save 4 cents a unit that way. And these things are all over the country and world, perhaps, with the different locations in gas stations and truck stops all over. So that probably added up. Or nobody ever actually uses these things to open cans, and so they just never notice, maybe. Or you don't really need to open cans anymore with these tools because they got the pop top thing, unless you get the really cheap stuff from, like, 50 cents a can at the dollar store, which, hey, I eat that kind of crap sometimes, and I couldn't use this to get at my food. So that was interesting. Now we'll talk about the syphilitic multi-tool. This one, I actually rather enjoyed using, believe it or not, even in its bubonic state. And here's why. Even though it is physically larger than the HDX one, the angle of the handles is more friendly to my mitts. And I can get a much larger bite angle on the pliers. And the handles were pretty comfortable. They're just solid pieces of, I think, aluminum. Yeah, I didn't mind playing with this at all. It also had that damage a little bit in the wire cutting area, but that's okay. The one thing I noticed is that the two ends of the pliers don't quite meet in the middle anymore. So it does look a bit derpy, but it just has a little bit of personality. That kind of precision didn't matter for the applications I was using it for. Now for the annoyances. I definitely felt this thing in my pocket, like the other one, and because it's even bigger, it pretty much filled, like, a whole bunch of my pocket. Also, the pivots for all the tools, this thing definitely needs to be taken apart and cleaned and put back together if I were to ever actually want to use it seriously. Although I don't think I would. I would just get rid of it and buy a good one. So, for example, I can just bring out all the tools all at once, pick the ones I need, and then one by one put the other ones back in. And that didn't get too annoying because on this side, the only thing I ever used was the main blade. So I just kind of did that, and then, hey, you get back in there. And even though everything is a slip joint, it has a pretty good lock to it. The springs are actually really good. The way it snaps back. So there was an assurance there. However, when I would go to cut things, now the blade is on this side relative to how I hold it. So it was even more awkward to cut into things because just the relative positioning of the blade and my hand is not what I'm used to. And so, yeah, it was a bit weird. But, hey, I didn't cut myself, which is good because I don't want to go to the hospital. This Tack Force knife now. I did do a little bit of maintenance to this, sort of, if you can call tightening screws maintenance, because when I first pulled this out of the package, every single screw was very loose. And in fact, this screw is just not there at all. It's missing. Maybe it's in the bag somewhere. I don't know. And there was definitely a lot of rattling going on, and that was this glass breaker slash spacer piece just rattling because it was completely loose. And even though I had to tighten the pivot quite a lot. This screw was like ready to fall out, but it maintained its centering, which, hey, for you know, a Tack Force knife, that's pretty good. It had a ton of blade play when I got it out. Now there's still a little bit, but it's tolerable, and it still opens really well. Going back to the glass breaker, I want to show you something. Huh? Yeah, it doesn't work very well. It'll do the job, sure. I mean, it cut this thing, but yeah, it's one of the more terrible ones I've ever experienced. I must have kicked up some of the mold spores in this thing. Anyway, it went into the pocket pretty well. This pocket clip, it's tight enough. And, yeah, slipped in and out. The in and out of pocket experience was good. Ergonomically, I didn't mind this knife at all. I actually had a pretty decent experience with it. Now, the edge. This is the part of the knife where I was thinking, like, you know, do I do maintenance on these things, or how am I going to handle that? Well, you can see that the previous owner has done quite a good job sharpening it. That bevel there, I'm being sarcastic. This thing had trouble cutting cardboard. Yeah, kind of hard to see, but there's... What the fuck did the previous owner do to this thing? Well, so I left it alone, and I'm just going to use it as is. And I know a dull knife is a dangerous knife, but I mostly used it to cut tape and cardboard, and it was a bit of a challenge. This thing sucks. I was so tempted to sharpen it up, and I was like, no. I'm going to incorporate that into the challenge, and challenging it was. The other issue with this knife is when it's open, it's got this rattle. So the spring is loose somewhere in there, in the, you know, in between the liner and the scale. Thankfully, when it's closed, that rattle goes away. That's all I've got to say about these four. I am looking forward to this moment. You know, I got home, I'm exhausted, I went to work early, I woke up at like 5 a.m., so I'm ready. I'm ready for my next set. I'll just throw these into a bin. Ironic, because that's kind of what you have to do at the airport with your keys and stuff. And I'll bring back the envelope that I opened last time. And I noticed on the other side the weight is written, 2 pounds, 1 ounce. So each package is 2 pounds. It doesn't feel like there's very much left in this one, probably because those big honkin' multi-tools were in here. So let's see what remains. Okay, we have a multi-tool, and it's little. That is a nice change of pace. It's one of those all-metal ones. Everything's riveted, it looks like. Pretty scratchy, so this has been pretty well carried. It's got a little hole for a keychain. Oh, interesting. So that's also like a lock for it. Huh, yeah, see, there's like a little U-shaped thing that it slips into. That's cool. That way it doesn't, you know, come open in your pocket. Okay. Oh, a little tight. Oh no. Okay, well, we got pliers, but they're not sprung. That's going to be annoying. Yeah, but I'll make do. Ooh, not a lot of toolage going on. Let's see. Looking for markings of brand. Nothing. Well, looks like we got two on this side. We got a goofy looking bottle opener. And here, these are annoying to get out. We got basically a little pen blade. And the thumb nicks are just these slots that are probably stamped in. Okay. So this thing just feels and looks cheap. Yeah, we just have a couple of tools on the other side. Literally two. We got your scissors. Hey, these are sprung. Okay. All of these tools are difficult to get out. And a little tiny flathead Phillips head screwdriver that feels a little bit loose. Yeah, these came out pretty easily after you get them going. Okay. But the plier pivot rivets are tight. Okay, cheap little thing, but different. It'll be a change of pace. I'm okay with that. The first thing I touch, I'm just grabbing. Yeah! Oh. Got another multi-tool. We have writing on this one. It says sequoia. Like the giant trees in California. We got a key ring thing. This one looks like it packs more tools. Okay. Also riveted together and no spring to the pliers. I got a little bit more tools on each side. This side's got the file Phillips head screwdriver and a bottle opener slash maybe a can opener, not sharpened. Okay. And on this side we've got the bottle opener, flathead screwdriver combo, usually. Oh God. Oh. And we got a smaller flathead tool. Okay. And a slightly longer blade than this one, just a little stainless drop point blade. Both of these multi-tools seem clean-ish, so. And then there's this tool. I don't know. It's not sharp. There's no hole in it, so it's not an awl. I don't know what that could be. But it's little, and it's stubby. Maybe it could be used for prying, but not really, because it's Okay. And as I'm sure you... Oh, God, these edges are sharp. Oof. As I'm sure you saw, the outside is demarcated, graduated. Okay. Ooh. Was it like that before I fucked with it? Oh, you know what? This also has like a little doohickey for locking it shut, attached to the key ring. Is that what that is? No? Okay, I guess it's just the key ring itself is on like a little pivot. And it's rattly and loose. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy using either one of these. This is the last item in this one. Oh, God. Well, I know that symbol without the gunk. Like, this is one of those old knockoff Swiss Army knives from the 90s that you could get at, like, Dollar General. I'm not going to be carrying this one because it's the same configuration as Spencer's knife. And I'm looking in here and I'm seeing a lot of bad news. Okay, that's about as far as I think I want to go. There is some kind of a residue on here. Probably grease. of some kind, intermingled with some rust. So, and the scales are just cracked and chipped. There's no tweezer, there's no toothpick. Pity. Won't be carrying that one. So, on to the next envelope. You know what? I'm going to be brave. I'm going to use this knife to cut the bag. Oh, God, it's so stiff. Whew. Yeah, that would have been a nightmare to carry. Look at this. Oh, my God. What is it? Is this just, like, scuffed and scratched? Did someone sharpen this edge with, like, an angle grinder? Look at the tip. I think someone sharpened this. Like, I'm fascinated. Oh my God. That feels like sandpaper. Ugh. Whew, I got it open. That is fascinating. I'm fascinated just because, like, somebody got a lot of use out of this, and wow. Let's see how it cuts. It's as bad as it sounded. Oh, well, you're retired. All right, give me a knife. I mean, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I can feel that's a multi-tool. Okay, I think I feel a knife here. Oh, it's another one of these. Okay. Oh, that is interesting. Tristan Barnett gave me something like this. This is, I found out later because it has such weird looking things in it. This is a tool for, like, golfing, where you use these things to, like, knock mud out of your cleats and some other stuff like that. I'm not a golfer. I don't know. What the hell is that thing, though? Obviously, it's a bottle opener, but it's kind of different looking. And, oh, it's got, like, a little spiky tool thing there. I'm not a golfer. If I was, I would carry this and use it golfing. But I'm going to call, if you look at the symbol, it's, let's look at it this way. It just says golf. And it's got like a skull and crossbones, except it's a golf ball and golf clubs. So now I have another one of these. The one Tristan gave me was in much better condition. This one, it's sandy. Like, somebody might have actually used this golfing, because I can feel there's grit and sand in the pivots. And we got a keychain that's mangled. So that's good. I am kind of tempted to call this one of the... you know what? I'm doing it. I know it's like a Victorinox style knife, but it's different enough that I want to bring this into work and see if I can find a use for these things. So, yeah, this is going to count as one of the two knives. So now I just need one more knife. Oh boy. And it's an SD Classic knockoff. What the fuck? What's this supposed to be? It's not sharp. And it's got no point. It's like blunt. Okay, well, this pen knife is sharp. Oh, not really. Oh my God. I don't want to know what that is in there. That's the oddest thing. And on the other side, we have the scissors, and it's usually a file. Oh yeah. Ugh. Oh, there's hair on it. Well, I've never seen this tool before. I have no idea what that is. I'm actually not going to carry this one because it is, Victorinox style knife again. It's not unique enough, even though with that weird blunty tool, for me to want to carry it. And this toothpick looks used. I should probably wear gloves when I do this. Well, at least this one's got tweezers and a toothpick, so it's got that going for it. Interesting. It is not Victorinox, though. There's no branding. just to be sure, let's check the pen blade. Looking at the stamp. There is a word on here that I can't quite make out. Okay, come on, you bastard. I still can't make it out. Oh well. Dodo. Alright, come on, give me a knife. Give me a knife. Oh no. Okay. Well, it's a knife. And I know this knife. Ooh. Oh my God. This is the Dollar Tree camping knife, which I spent quite a lot of time trying to track down, and I finally found a Dollar Tree around me that sold them, and I bought like 4 or 5 of them just because they're $1, and I was looking for so long. But this is a shape and I guess a configuration that's, all over the place. Very, very cheap. It's almost a Beetlejuice knife, like a Frost Cutlery, I've already forgotten the actual model name, Eagle Eye, but it's not. It's even cheaper. I would rather have an Eagle Eye. Look at this thing. It has been through a war. It's mostly serrated, and that's going to be a big challenge. It's rusty, so I better update my tetanus shots. Let's see the play on it. Oh yeah, quite a bit of play on that. This probably will fall. I'll tell you what, if I break this thing during the week, if this thing really falls apart, I'll use these as a backup. And it's got, the plastic pocket clip. That might actually snap at some point. Oh. Well, every time I open and close this thing, it's gonna send shivers down my spine. It's like nails on a chalkboard. So I got 2 gritty sandy knives and 2 little uncomfortable multi-tools, and 2 backups. I guess one more thing I want to mention. I technically could count this kind of knife as a multi-tool as well, but I kind of think of a multi-tool in my mind. Something with the pliers comes up, so I should clarify. I count the multi-tool as something with pliers, and then the knife as, I would consider this to be in the knife category, just to clear that up. Not that anybody asked. And to think I was actually excited about this. Oh well, we'll see you next week. This has been JJ Jinx.